Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. This video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and the labor market is much weaker than headlines are allowing us to believe. In fact, unemployment is now screaming and indicating a recession is either here already or is going to be here in the very, very near future. Now, on top of that, unemployment is going to continue to get worse as we chug along in the cycle, and the bankruptcy cycle continues. You guys, the bankruptcy cycle is destroying small businesses. In other words, what we are seeing in mainstream media is not telling us what is really happening behind the scenes. Look at the two job surveys. The establishment survey that says we gained 300,000 to 400,000 jobs, and then the household survey where citizens completed say we lost 600,000 jobs. Now, one thing we can all agree on is that we've lost 1 million full-time jobs in the last 12 months. Now, if we continue to keep our head in the sand, then there is a likelihood that you will be caught up in what is coming. And it is coming, you guys, it is coming rapidly. Now, those of us who can prepare, we may just become rich on the other side of this recession. Okay, so the important thing here is we need to prepare. So prepare for the worst. If you want to hope for the best, that's fine. But I want to be one person that becomes rich during the next recession. But you guys don't forget, I'm not a financial advisor, even though my bio is as a licensed loan officer, thank you, of 20 years, and a licensed realtor of about 13 years, and a licensed CE instructor, teacher. And by the way, you guys, someone that lost everything, had a foreclosure, bankruptcy, repo, and a $100,000 tax lien as a result of my foreclosure, followed me around for 9 years. I dug myself out of the gutter through pain and tenacity. And I have great credit now. I have great purchasing power now. And also my bio is as a father that wants my children to have a happy, safe life. And for that bio, if you guys like my bio, do me a favor, hit like below, share this video. It really helps out. And if you need any help, if you're struggling with commercial financing, fill the application out in my description and send it to me and I will help. All right, so we're going to read a Business Insider article. The name of this article is "The U.S. Economy is Headed into a Corporate Bankruptcy Cycle That Will Spike Unemployment," a veteran forecaster says. Who do you guys think the veteran forecaster is? Okay. Who do you think it is? Check it out, you guys. The U.S. is heading into a bankruptcy cycle that could spark more job losses, says Danielle DiMartino Booth. Dang, she's a business center. She's all over the place. She goes, I enjoy talking to Danielle. The veteran forecaster pointed to the rise in large bankruptcies so far this year. June can see a rise in large bankruptcies, raising unemployment, she predicted. And I'm going to show you guys unemployment here in a minute, which is a huge indicator of recession. Now, let me read this. A wave of large bankruptcies is about to hit the U.S. economy, and that could spark job losses for a growing number of Americans, according to Wall Street. And this is what everyone keeps getting wrong. Why is no one like the bulls not talking about substantial job losses? It's a domino effect. People get real hurt when there's job losses. The QI Research CEO pointed to the climb in corporate bankruptcies over the past year, a sign and indication that businesses are struggling under the higher interest rates and tighter financial conditions, or rather quantitative tightening. Corporate bankruptcies rose 88% through April this year. You guys, the pain is coming, and the pain is coming fast. And when it hits small businesses, I mean, it's going to hit us all. Small businesses are so important. They make up about 40% of total employment. Let's keep going. 9 companies worth $50 million or more have failed so far this year. That's the fastest pace of large bankruptcy filings since the pandemic. Both predicted that the number of large bankruptcies would climb by 25 by the end of June, surpassing the peak of large corporate bankruptcy filings during the pandemic in half the time, I may add. So they're saying they're going to hit the pandemic level bankruptcy filings by the end of June. You guys, again, the quantitative tightening and the lag effects are starting to shred. Well, American households, we already feel that, but small businesses, I mean, they're getting hit bad. And the jobs that we see, the job growth that we see, it's not from small businesses offering full-time jobs. It's from part-time jobs and government jobs. The full-time jobs, we are losing. Now, this is really cool. Listen to what Danielle says here. I think that the bankruptcy cycle kicking into high gear is going to be enough to tame inflation. She is so smart. I want to talk to her again. I think I'm going to reach out after reading this because I have a lot to discuss with her. Like, one of the things I want to ask Danielle, like, what would you do, Danielle, if you were in Jerome Powell's seat? Right? Like, what would you do? I'm so fascinated to hear what she would say. But that's interesting, man. She thinks that just that bankruptcy cycle alone is enough to curb inflation because, think of what she's saying, because that cycle is going to lead to more unemployment, and unemployment is devastating to the housing market. It's devastating the entire economy. So she's saying corporate bankruptcies lead to unemployment, lead to recession. Let's keep going. When you have these large bankruptcy liquidations, and what you do have a loss of income, a complete loss of I know what that's like, guys. That is so horrible. The US job market remains on solid footing. This is according to the article. I disagree. They're going to revise this information down, mark my words. But the unemployment rate has ticked up to 4%. Again, listen, guys, 1 million full-time jobs lost over 12 months. And the economy, again, they said the job market remains solid. It's not solid. It's barely hanging on. Companies have signaled that they are pulling back on hiring and ready to make job cuts. Listen, guys, this is insane. Another 63,000 employers announced plans to lay off workers in May. 63,000 employers. So say each of them lays off 100 employees. That's 6.3 million jobs. 6.3 million jobs if they just laid off 100 employees. That is insane, you guys. Now, the hiring fell to its lowest pace year to date since 2014. So I'm asking people to pay attention, please, to the trajectory of these trends, because again, it's still being played out. We don't have no one has hit the button that says, we are in recession, prepare. No one's hit that button yet. Very precarious times for small businesses that produce 40% of the jobs in America. Booth has previously argued that the economy is already in recession due to the weakness in the labor market. So she sees it clearly, right? I can see this a little bit more clearly than normal people as well. Now, according to one unemployment indicator, the job market slipped into recession in October of last year. And again, she's been saying this. So I'm going to be watching to see if they actually do go back to October. Now, personally, I don't think they're going to go back and call a recession October. And the only reason I'm saying that is there's too much inflation. There's too much money still in the system. There's too much government spending, government jobs. Now, can they? Yeah. What we've learned is they could just magically revise data. That is the most heartbreaking, helpless feeling that I've ever had when they changed history. New home prices, they completely revised all that data. It's not fair. They've changed price groupings to manipulate how it looks. I'm ready for this whole reset. What about you guys? Now, I want you guys to pay attention to me. When we have recession, that recession leads to unemployment. Once we have unemployment, obviously prices of things go down. When prices of things like houses goes down, that's when it's our opportunity to go buy stuff at cheaper prices, right? And if you don't think there's a recession incoming, I got to show you, okay? Now, when I was doing a report with Jack from Nobody Special Finance, I started looking at the unemployment rate, and I noticed that anytime, and I'll show you guys, let me pull this up actually right now, okay? This is what you guys are seeing here is the unemployment rate. And what I've done is, see where I've marked in red right there? That's when unemployment starts going up. And if you notice there that really anytime you guys, and I'm going back to the 1970s, okay? So just going back to the 1970s, anytime that unemployment has gone up, it has led us into recession. This is a huge indicator of what's coming. You guys got to prepare for this, okay? Well, you don't have to do anything, but for the love of God, please prepare for this. The recession is coming. There is way more pain. You guys don't even know what the pain is yet. You're starting to get clues of it, but still, it's like it's a joke on everyone. No one knows what's coming. But look at this, guys, okay? First of all, let me point to what's going on right now, all right? What's going on right now is you see right here again, I'm going to point to it. You see right now, unemployment's going up. I put that in red. Okay, so unemployment's going up. Now look at, okay, before lockdowns, the last time unemployment went up was right here. Okay, you see that? Right before the GFC. So again, the last time we had increasing unemployment, not counting lockdowns, was right before the GFC. And now I've put yellow lines when the recession has started. So look at, few months later, we go into recession. So we had that increase in unemployment and then recession. Now let's go back to the dot-com bubble. Same thing, guys, same exact trend. This is what's going to happen. It's going to happen right now. We know this. In the dot-com bubble, look at, unemployment went up. You see this right here, okay? And then shortly after, we went into recession. And then let's go back to the 1990s. The same thing happened. And remember, in the 1990s, even though we had low transactions, nationwide home prices went down. Some metro areas had a crash in prices. Overall, the nation didn't. The nation did go down, however, in prices. Something similar is going to happen right now. But again, unemployment went up, and then boom, recession. Okay, going back to the 80s now, look at Same thing, guys. Unemployment went up and then we went into recession. Let's go back into the 70s. Unemployment went up and then we went into recession. What I just showed you may be the strongest indicator of a recession that is potentially, like Danielle said, it's potentially already here. Let me know what you think. And you guys, here's the craziest thing of all. This is before they even revise the data. Remember, they're going to go back and revise all this data. So they can't even revise this data enough not to show unemployment going up. And remember, unemployment doesn't go up unless we're headed for recession. Now, the interesting thing is I was watching Michael Bordenaro's video, and he actually was talking about this spot on recession indicator is flashing red. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what's Michael talking about? There's actually an indicator for what I just talked about. It's called the Schannep Recession Indicator. So again, what I just said, apparently someone's made an indicator, and that indicator that I just warned you guys about, or the job loss going up, is flashing red. This is crazy, and big shout out to Michael. I didn't even know this was an indicator until I watched your video, and it was crazy because I had just figured this out on my own. Now this goes, you guys, a recession is underway, and we're just waiting for corroboration from the National Bureau of Economic Research, the semi-official arbiter of when recessions begin. Now he bases his conviction on an indicator he created in 2000 called the Schannep Recession Indicator, or SRI, which corresponds to trends in the U.S. unemployment rate. So again, another indicator is called the SRI. Okay, so the SRI is very, very important. Now, according to this indicator in the US, since 1946, there have been 12 recessions. Why is everyone so surprised we're going into recession? We've had 12 already since 1946. Now, all of them were spotted by the SRI, that the SRI issued only one false signal in October of 1959, 6 months prior to the recession that commenced in April 1960. So it was a little off. It still went into recession 6 months later. So there's only one false positive. This is a very strong indicator. The SRI is based on the 3-month moving average of unemployment rate. A recession signal is triggered when it rises by at least 0.4% from the moving average's prior cycle low. So we are obviously up more than 0.4%. This has now warned us recession's coming. The SRI's latest signal was triggered on June 7th. So this bad boy was triggered 2 weeks ago, roughly, with a report of May's unemployment rate of 4%, which brought the 3-month moving average to 3.9%. That's 0.4 percentage points higher than where the moving average stood in April of last year, right? You know, I don't mean to be cocky, guys. I just get beat up all the time. People call me and assume the craziest, most evil, most worst things. I don't even know where people get these things. So I'm not celebrating like people are going to get hurt. What I'm celebrating is, man, I've been working hard to prepare for this, and I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of all this discipline. I just want to move on with my life. That's why I'm celebrating this, because in order for me to move on with my life, things have to come into some sort of balance. They got to come back to some sort of balance. And again, you guys, this is happening right in front of our eyes. Let me just show you some quick headlines of the companies within the last week or so that are doing layoffs. And I want to start here because I want you guys to understand it's the school systems as well. The school systems are getting destroyed right now. Now look at the headline here, guys. What a slap in the face. UT Austin announces mass layoffs following hectic semester. Austin, you guys, that housing market is crumbling. They lost Tesla jobs. They are losing so much, including UT teachers and staff. And it's not just at that college. Emerson College announces coming layoffs, links declining enrollment to protests. There's more. Disheartening. More MSCS staffers receive notice their jobs are set to be cut. And look at, guys, this is June 18th. But if you guys want some household names, here you go. Here's another one from June 18th. Volkswagen planning layoffs. Here's another one, you guys. You thought Tesla was done doing layoffs? They're not done. Look at this article is from June 19th, there's a pipeline of former Tesla staffers to Elon Musk's shiny new startup XAI. This guy is laying off so many people. What he's trying to do, and credit to him, he's trying to take some of the people that are being laid off and he's trying to move them to other companies. So he's a businessman, first of all. I hope you guys understand that, but at least he's trying. And look at this, guys, another familiar name, Meta. And look at the article date. Let me move my picture. June 19th, okay? All of this is recent. This is happening right now, literally as I'm recording this. Meta layoffs, Reality Labs reportedly restructured with focus on AR and metaverse. More layoffs, you guys. These are huge, huge employers. Whole subdivisions of houses are built just because of these businesses. So when these businesses start doing layoffs, those subdivisions and new communities go belly up. When all is said and done, I hope what you're getting from this video is, again, prepare for the worst. You can hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. And what do I mean? One of the most important things that we can do as citizens right now is put ourselves in a situation to save money. I do not care how much money you make, whether you make $50,000 or $250,000. If you cannot save your money at the end of the month, then you are living paycheck to paycheck. And I want to tell you this, it doesn't have to be that way. Rebudget, and work on your purchasing power. Now, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know, you guys, if you did, or if you didn't. I'm doing a couple more scenes, doing a little bit differently. Let me know if you like my new setup. Maybe you didn't even notice it. But either way, if you're out there investing in real estate, you guys already know I wish you luck, and I hope you win.